Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. Speaking of which, here are a few pictures sent in from our eyewitness reporters across the country. Let's begin with this one. A set of pictures from Owo in Ondo State showing people waiting to get money from the ATM machine. Our eyewitness reporter says bank transactions have been difficult since the bank robbery on March 26th. He said most of the banks are yet to resume transactions, and also people traveling to the town have to come with money that they need. He's therefore appealing to the central bank to see to the reopening of the banks. Next is this one from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, showing the scene of an accident. Our eyewitness reporter says the accident involved a car and a trailer loaded with cement, which he said lost control after the driver lost the brakes. There are no details of casualties yet from this accident. From Minna, the Niger State capital, comes this picture of a flooded road, which our eyewitness reporter says was due to bad drainage. We'll end with this picture sent in from Gombe State showing people filling potholes with stones. Our eyewitness reporter says they resorted to this communal effort to save the road, however temporary because of the regular occurrence of accidents on the road. Thank you for sending in those pictures, and do remember that you can also be an eyewitness reporter for Channels Television. The first published list of alleged looted funds by the All Progressives Congress, the APC, has generated reactions and allegation the People's Democratic Party finds offensive. In this next report, our political correspondent, Shewan Kimbaloye, highlights the APC's list and the issues surrounding corruption in Nigeria.
It's a destination where they sell the crude. Instead of putting the money in Nigerian account, they put it in individual accounts.
The President, Muhammadu Buhari, making revelations about what he calls the rot in the oil sector, the mainstay of Nigeria's economy, and his plea is for America to help in recovering the alleged stolen funds. In the last weeks, since President Muhammadu Buhari took office, the anti-graft agency EFCC has increased the tempo of its prosecution. The president appears to want to do more. In fact, he has since set up a presidential advisory team against corruption led by Professor Issa Sage. The PDP believes the prosecutions are basically targeted at harassing leaders and members of the PDP.
So far, statistics shows clearly that the EFCC had only arrested members of our party, those who have served in government before.
The presidency has made it clear that it will focus on investigating members of the past president's cabinet. While reactions have trailed that decision, the APC has come forward with a list of some alleged looting of the treasury, majorly in the oil sector. The APC highlights instances of alleged looting running into several trillions of naira. The ruling party listed a 3.8 trillion naira out of the 8.1 trillion naira earned from crude oil between 2012 and 2015, which is said to have been withheld by the NNPC. Another $2.1 billion from excess crude account, which the party says is unaccounted for. The Department of Petroleum Resources unremitted 109.7 billion naira royalty from oil firms. The party went further to list a $6 billion allegedly looted by some ministers of the last administration. 160 million barrels of crude worth $13.9 billion lost between 2009 and 2012. Also is a $15 million the party says was from botched arms deal yet to be returned to Nigeria, and a $13 billion in LNG dividends, mostly unaccounted for, the party says. Also is a 30 billion naira rice waiver and 183 billion naira unaccounted for at the NDDC. The PDP did not find the list appropriate. The party says it is reckless, irresponsible, and highly provocative. The PDP said Instead of the APC engaging in unnecessary playing to the gallery, the APC-led government should get serious with the fight against corruption by investigating and prosecuting corrupt persons, while moving on with the demands of governance, especially in fulfilling their numerous campaign promises for which they were voted into office at the center. Unquote. The Buhari-led government sure has its work cut out for it, and the anti-graft agencies perhaps need not look any further but to first validate the figures and lists published by the APC. Sheung Okimbale for Channels Television News.
Joining me now on the news at 10 to analyze the alarm raised by the APC leadership on the alleged looting of the Treasury by the last administration. I'm being joined by human rights lawyer Mr. Adegboruwa. You're welcome to the news at 10.
Good evening. Thank you.
There's a really high figures there in that report that the APC alleges the PDP embezzled over a period of time that it was in power. What do you make of those figures?
Well, we're not shocked, and at the same time, we are cautious. Indeed, it was one of the campaign promises of the president that he was going to investigate and also bring to justice every case of corruption in respect of the past administration. And I think all Nigerians support him. We accept that anybody who's found guilty of looting our common resources, taking away our patrimony and subjecting us to these harrowing years of neglect and suffering, the person should be brought to book. So in that regard, the president cannot overdo it. He has the support and mandate of Nigerians to go to the nooks and crannies of all the departments of government and bring out our money for our own collective use. So to that extent, we commend him and also ask that he should not be distracted from that particular campaign which he made in the course of his electionary campaign to Nigerians. So I believe that in a country where there are no schools, in a country where there are no drugs in the hospitals, in a country where there is no national carrier, there is no electricity, whoever is holding our money, whether in the past regime or in the present regime, the president should go after them and bring them to book and collect the money, but in a process that is ascertained by law. That's why I say we are cautious.
And so the president has begun the anti-corruption war. How far do you think he will go in the past administration?
I don't see the president going far in the way that he's currently handling the anti-corruption war by making it political. Corruption is purely legal. There are statutes, there are laws in Nigeria defining how to go about in the pursuit of corruption. It is not by newspaper advertorials, it's not by press releases, it's not a media trial. So that in the past 2 or 3 years, especially in the last administration, you've seen how cases have been given highfalutin names only for you to get to court, and then the charges are dismissed and struck out piecemeal. Virtually, you haven't seen any major anti-corruption case that have been prosecuted successfully, because the issue of funding of the anti-corruption agencies is very important. EFCC needs money. You have to go to their office and see what they're going through. The police needs funding. The statute has to be amended. The judiciary has to be well funded in order to ensure that the delay that we experience in the courts is a thing of the past. So there's no way you can fight corruption through the media. You have to go back to the legislation, you have to go back to the National Assembly, you have to go back to the judiciary and up the game, and then do proper investigation, so that by the time a person is facing the charge in court, you don't need to tell him twice in order to cooperate, either to do a plea bargain and refund the money. But when you do media trial, when investigation has not been done, and you bandy figures, and these people are arrested and taken to court and there's no serious trial, then you come back and blame the judiciary for being corrupt. So I think the police should be allowed to do proper job. Anybody, however highly placed, should be treated according to due process and brought to justice.
It does seem like these institutions that you just mentioned have been empowered, it seems. There seems to be new life and new blood injected into them to go about carrying out these investigations, and then arrests that have been going on. But remember, the PDP's response to the APC's allegations, saying that the APC should go ahead and concentrate on governance instead of chasing, these monies, and they should go ahead and concentrate on governance for which they have been elected into the center. What do you make of their own response to this?
Well, I'm amused, mainly because if you have no skeleton in your cupboard, you have no reason to be afraid. Let the president bring heavens down to chase anybody. If you are not part of them, you have no reason to cry. You have no reason to be afraid. If anybody witch hunts you, by the time you get to court, your lawyers will bring out the facts and you'll be set free. It's not the first time. It's happening all over the land. Charges are being dismissed and struck out. So I think the PDP should allow the president to focus. We are giving them the chance 16 years down the line, and then Nigeria is where we are now. But having said that, I believe anti-corruption is an ongoing process. I'm surprised that the president is making it look like a major agenda. That's not the reason. That's not the only reason why we put the president in office.
You don't think it should be a major agenda?
It's an ongoing, it's a lifetime thing.
Okay.
It's not a thing that we translate the exchange rate. I don't think it's anti-corruption that is allowing the oil prices to go down. I don't think it's anti-corruption that is affecting the stock exchange, whereby people are losing money. I don't think it's anti-corruption that has driven away Julius Berger from Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where we're spending 7 hours on the road. I don't think that's anti-corruption. The president should take on the anti-corruption war in line with other pragmatic programs for the development and progress of this nation. It's becoming a mantra. It's looking like it's as if it's a major campaign strategy to buy himself into the mind of Nigerians. We support him. But it's not every day we wake up to hear anti-corruption. We want to hear other things about what's happening in the hospitals. We want to hear other things about what's happening in the power sector, although we commend him that now it seems to be getting better. But I think that in the way that we're going about it, it will seem that maybe there is no serious agenda for this particular regime, and then anti-corruption has now become a song that we listen to every day.
Mr. Adegboruwa, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the News at 10. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I've been talking to a human rights lawyer, Mr. Adegboruwa, on the anti-corruption campaign by the president. But when the News at 10 returns, resident doctors in Oyo State call off their strike, asked to resume work. Please join us again.